Okay, 2018, 36,400 Ks is when we did the new cam belts. Okay, so in the Ducati technician's manual, this is the tool that they use for checking the frequency of the belt. And you are looking for 110 Hertz plus or minus 5 Hertz, right? And then check the tension, the belt at section 22 and 23 indicated in the figure. And that's here. So it's saying 23 in the middle of this section and 22 the rear vertical. So these are the original Ducati ones that the bike came with. These had actually done 22,000 Ks and about 12 years old. And then these are the second pair that I put on, which are the California Cycle Works ones. And I did about 14,000 Ks with these ones. And now the third set are the ones on the bike, which are genuine Ducati Gates ones made in the UK. Alright, so we're going to do a check on the cam belts. So we need to remove these covers. So to do that, we need to get the oil vapor, crankshaft vapor tank out of the way, which you'll just have one screw here, and then you've got the hose clamp up here, so you just pop the hose off there. Don't bother removing the hose from the airbox. Then this hose here, you can leave this hose clamp here, runs down to here where it sucks out of the crankshaft, crank housing, and then you can just undo that clamp, lift that off that, and you can slide it through. To get this cam cover off, you need to loosen up the fuel tank so you can get it up out of the way. Pretty sure it's a bit easier like that. So to get the cam covers off, we've just got some bolts here, undo the horn, and then the same in here. There's a couple hiding in around here, and then one here. So they're just Allen keys, metric. So with this hose here, just take the clamp right off, because you need to be able to squash it when you slide it through the frame here. And this one you can just leave here like so, unless it just falls off like that. But you don't need to take it out, you can just slide it off the tank. So under the horn, it then turns into two 13mm socket for the bolts. Right, so front cover just comes off easy, then the middle cover here. So you can see the print starting to wear off a bit. These are genuine Ducatis, which are made in England by Gates belts. So they shouldn't be super tight. You should be able to just move it around 3 to 4 mil. You should be able to spin your cam adjusters, your tensioners. Should feel a bit firmer up this end. But I've never ever used a tensioning tool on these. All I've ever done is measure this gap here between the two pulleys, set it the same, and if it just feels just 3 to 4 mil of movement there, it's normally right. Okay, so I've got the bolts out on this one. And yeah, doesn't want to come out. There you go. It's a bit tight. It'll be a lot easier with the tank loose. It's this little hump here is a bit of a problem. So when you do check the cam belts, what you're going to do, you should have the cylinder set at top dead center on the compression, on the power stroke, so the compression stroke. So that way the valves are closed and there's no spring pressure on your camshaft. So they're in a free zone. And then when you do the back cylinder, you need to turn to get that one at top dead center after you've done the top one, after you've done the front one. So before I make any changes, I'm going to measure this gap between the two, between the adjuster and the fixed one. And it's 8.2. So just using an 8mm drill. That fits in, not a problem. 8.5. 8.5 doesn't fit. And 8.5 doesn't fit on the back cylinder. So I've got the 8mm drill and a 0.25mm feeler gauge. So that just pops through there nicely. So that's definitely about an 8.2. And then same on the back one. So I have an app on the phone that measures the frequency, because normally you do a flick on the belt and you measure the frequency, and I think it's 110 hertz plus or minus 5. Okay, so we've got the back plug out, got the front plug in, so I know when we're on the compression stroke. This mark here should line up with this notch. So I'll put it in gear and then we'll turn the engine with the back wheel in the right direction of rotation that way. Right, so I've got both plugs out. Okay, easy way to tell if you're at top dead center. You've got the plug out, put a rag in the back cylinder, and then you'll hear the front cylinder or the plug out, you'll hear it hiss. And then when you go past the timing mark and the second cylinder, the back cylinder hits, you'll see the rag pop out. So we'll turn it. That's the front cylinder, and then that's the back cylinder. Okay, so on top dead center, that marks there, and these two marks are slightly offset. So the back cylinder is in position. So the dot timing mark is over here now, and the cam timing marks are here and here. Seems a bit strange that they're offset like that. So perfect 110. 110, 110, 109. So let's wiggle the cam bounce back and forward. $106, $106. So I've just loosened the lock nut off, and then it's only that much of adjustment on the actual cam, and then lock it up. It still feels pretty loose. Move quite a bit. Yep. Drill doesn't want to fit through now. It doesn't want to fit. Back that off a little bit. Yeah, it's just catching a little bit as it goes through. Now we'll lock the cam up. So that's showing too tight now. A little wiggle back and forward. So too tight. So the drill's fitting through easy now. We'll lock this up. Get the bounce to wiggle back and forward. Drill's fitting through without any problems. 115. So that's our max that we want. 114. This one you have to hold quite close to the belt to get a reading. 116. 115.9. So that's right on the max limit that you want.